Hi everybody, so today I have another Louis Vuitton video. I hope I'm not crazy in putting this out and I hope that it will be received well. But I have to say I was so impressed with my first experience with the eyeshadow formulas from Louis Vuitton, where I had the blues, that I went back for some refills. I'm not crazy, I didn't buy any more cases, I just bought the refills. So what I've actually done is bought cases so I can put them into a magnetic case. So in my first review I showed you the blue one, and I've gone back and I've bought the green refill, which I've now put in the case here, and I've also bought the purple one. So we're going to look at both of these today, one look with each of them on both sides, and I'll swatch them, talk to you about them and see what I feel about going back for the refills. How was my experience? How do they work out using things like this? Does it make me happy? Do I think it's worth it? And are the formulas equally as good in all of them? So that's what we're going to look at today. Just a quick video really with two looks. I'm not going to go through a ton of comparisons. If you would like to see comparisons in the type of formula we're getting with Louis Vuitton, I have done that in my very first review, which you can look at here on my channel. But anyway, let's just get started by looking at these two looks. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah, I'm 48, I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty, and here on my channel I show you the latest releases, my favourite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this content, I would be delighted if you did subscribe to my channel, it's so very helpful. But if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for being here, welcome back to my channel, I really appreciate every single one of you. And my skin tone, looking at the sort of shades we have today, I have fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones that can lean a bit neutral, and I've also got blue eyes. But anyway, that's enough about me, and let's dive straight into the review. So I'm not going to go into any of the controversies over the Louis Vuitton. Some people don't like you reviewing it, some people do. Lots of people heard that I have these refills, and I've done one shorts reel on the purple one, and I've had so many people saying, will you do a full tutorial? I ummed and ahed because of the controversy, but I've decided to do it. So all I'll say about the controversy is, if you don't like it and you hate it, please just don't watch, rather than comment and be cruel, because it's very hard putting yourself out there on YouTube and worrying about things like that. If I could ask you kindly, that would be really great. But anyway, so my experience of using these with just the refills, I've got a couple of thoughts. You'll probably notice by looking at these, you can see my sort of fingernails in them and little chunks, and that's because the magnets in these are so strong that I really struggle getting them in and out. Now somebody did suggest getting one of these magnet type pens, which I did do, but even using one of these, I can't, for instance, just tap on the shade. It will hold there, but when I pull away it won't come, because the magnet in these is so powerful. You can sort of use this to move it once you've done it, but you need to dig under with your nail or something to really get it to move. And I found that by moving them around like that, I actually damaged the eyeshadow. And I wonder if they've made it like that on purpose or something, I don't know. But it makes me feel like if you get these, I would, if you have a case, keep the case with your favourite one, and then just keep the other ones. Don't bother changing them around unless you know that you're going to use it a lot. If you're going to transfer them all the time, they're going to get wrecked, in my opinion, unless you've found a really careful way of doing it. But I've fiddled with these a lot. I mean, look at the blue one. I've got in a terrible state with the blue one moving it around. But anyway, you can pick these up on Amazon, these cases, if you just basically do a search online for magnetic eyeshadow case. And these, I think I paid around £10 for the two of these. They came with a mirror, I haven't taken the thing off. So it's just a plain one I've got. I think you can get smaller ones as well. So it just shows that you don't have to spend an absolute fortune on one of these gorgeous cases. You can just use one of these, and that's what I'm doing. I'm certainly not buying more than one. So let's start with the purple one. Now I have to say that when I wore this in a few videos, I wore a look with this in a long YouTube video. I also wore it in a few shorts videos doing other things, and I've had so many comments, what's on your eyes, what's on your eyes, and it was this, probably more comments than I get normally. So it does show that these formulas are really good. And what pulled me in last time with the blue was just the quality of the metallic and the shimmer. These are the two that really pulled me in, because this blue, it's not glittery, you don't feel any of the glitter, but you just get this gorgeous shimmer as you turn your eyes, and it feels luxurious. You know, it really does feel like you're buying very, very luxurious formulas that perform in a luxury makeup way. They're not overly pigmented, and I think you do need to keep that in mind, but that is basically how luxury makeup tends to be. If you're looking for Pat McGrath level, like we get with the motherships, this is Pat McGrath working with Louis Vuitton, and this means that they're now really turning into the high luxury types of formula, which has to be easy to apply. That seems to be the big sort of trend when you look at Chanel and Dior eyeshadows. Very easy, not overly pigmented, understated, elegant. They're not going to be wow in your face, overly glittery. These have no fallout whatsoever. They do last. The mattes are superbly easy to work with. I really do rate the formulas, and that's exactly why I went back. So what did these refills cost me? £69. So I spend around 90 on the Tom Ford, around the same on the Hermes, so less than those, but obviously I'm not getting the case. But then if you add in my case for 10, it still comes up to less than Tom Ford and Louis Vuitton. So I'm quite happy with the price I've paid for the quality I'm getting. But am I happy, as happy as I was with the blue? The blue one blew me away. I absolutely loved it. And I definitely think I am with this, but I'm a little bit on the fence with the green one, so I'll try it again today. I'm going to wear it a bit differently to the first time I tried it, which I haven't even shown you on camera. And I will go with my Sonia G brushes today, so I'm going to use natural brushes. So to start this look with the purple, this is the purple I like all over the lid. I haven't done any swatches. I'm getting carried away. Let me do the swatches first. So these are the two purples. This is the one I want all over my lid. So there's that first one with a sort of metallic-y, or I don't know, they don't feel metallic-y actually, more of a shiny satin. As you can see, not overly pigmented at all. Then the next two shades, we have this matte, and then we have the topper. I'll just swatch that there. I was going into the end of my hand. So there's the topper. Can you see? They don't look that impressive swatch, but they just work together beautifully on the eyes. And this swatch is very much like a Dior or a Chanel, to be honest with you. Just doesn't look very impressive when you swatch it. And it isn't impressive. It's not something that's so bold you'll think, wow, what's that? But it's elegant. They are moving actually. I've just said they don't move, but they've actually moved a bit there. My little arrangement. I'm trying to make it look like it's in the Louis Vuitton one. So there we go. Let's start with this one anyway. So the look I've done with this is how I wore it. And this colour I think is a really nice one and done colour as well. So you could just put this one on and be good to go. Because look how much pigment I've got using a natural brush. I'm just going in once, but look at the finish on it. Just look at it. This is what made me go back. This formula. Look at that. It's just so beautiful. And then if I just want to blend it out and soften the edges, I mean, I think I've got a lot from that, to be honest with you. And it just looks so much more impressive than when you swatch it. And this with a bit of liner and mascara, off you go. There's your look finished already. And I think it is absolutely stunning. Now I'll show you straight away, actually, I'll clean the brush off and I'll show you straight away the difference with this one. So I think I'll start building the two together. So I'll show you the shades we've got here. So we have this green and brown. The green is the one I'll be using all over the lid, which seems to be a similar formula to the one I've just put on my eyes now. So there's the green. So you see it's got that bit of shimmer, whereas the brown is more of a matte. So here is the gold. The shade I wasn't overly interested in. And then this is the sort of light, this is like a satin, I would say. Now when I did my first look, I put the green all over my lid and I used the gold as a pop in the middle. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to try this one, which is exactly the sort of thing I'm going to do now with the purple, and I really enjoyed that look. So that's how I'm going to go for it today and use the gold a little bit less. So let me take the same Sonia G brush, which I've just cleaned off, and go into the green. So you can see how this looks as a sort of one and done like we've seen with this one here. And this is as easy to apply with the same sort of beautiful finish. It's the same formula. It is the green that drew me to this, was seeing this green. I think it's an absolutely stunning shade of green. Look how much I'm getting from that. I've only gone in once with this brush. And I'm getting plenty from that. I really am. I often get criticisms on the looks that I put out in my shorts reels saying, oh, that's maybe not criticisms, but criticisms of the product. Oh, look how that's got no pigment. I'm like, no, I've got fair skin. I don't over apply things. If I go for really strong colours, they can really wash me out and they just don't look good at all. In fact, that's as strong as I would like it to go. In fact, I'd like to soften it more than that. So I'm just cleaning off the brush. I've got a blank brush now to just go around and really soften these edges, because I don't like to have too much depth and too much darkness. So my looks are always quite soft, and it's not because of the products. You can see here that tiny amount has given me so much. It's so easy to blend out and soften as well. Very, very workable. Look at this green, isn't it beautiful? So both of these are starting off in exactly the same beautiful way, and that is a really nice one and done shade. Now I think I'll take my Wayne Goss E2 into the more bright purple here. This one is called Cosmic Dreams, by the way. I haven't said that, have I? Which is number 450, but it's fairly obvious. It's the only purple one. So because I really, really love this one, I haven't actually tried this one all over the lid yet, which I probably should, because I think they would both be really nice. I don't actually think you need to use both, but this one is more of a bright purple. So what I've been doing with this is just taking a little bit really and building up a bit in the outer V. Now obviously you can build up and darken with this in the outer V as well, but I'm almost like building at the level of purple in the outer V. And they just sit on each other rather beautifully, and you can see I've got that darker shade mixed with the lighter now in that outer V. It's almost the opposite of what you normally do, which is to put the light shade down first and then deepen with the darker, but I just really like it. I think they really work nicely together, and then bring quite a bit of this purple onto the sort of first half of the lid as well. With exactly the same brush, which I'm just cleaning off, I'll do the same on this eye, but this one I'm going to go into the brown. Now this one will bring quite a bit more darkness, but the green and brown work together really nicely together. And this one is 951 Force of Nature. These are perfect sort of autumnal shades as well. So I didn't take much of this on the brush at all, because I've already got a lot of darkness coming with that green for me. Got a deeper skin tone, you could really go a lot deeper than I'm doing, and you've seen with that green how much I had to calm it down. These two work together very, very, very nicely. And I'm also going to take the brown with the tip of this brush and bring it underneath. And now for this one, I'm going to go into the lightest and put this pop in the middle. And I think this is what really drew everyone's attention to this look when I wore it in my videos, is when you add this over, look at that, isn't it absolutely beautiful? Zero fallout, zero glitter, very complimentary to mature skin, super easy to work with, and that pop is just so stunning. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous topper shade. Do I think this one was worth it? 100%, 100%. I think the formulas really are phenomenal. I love them. I'll also, with my Pencil Pro brush from Sonia G, take this same one into the inner corner here and under the brow. So now for this side, which for me is so dark, too dark for me, which is probably why I didn't like it when I added the gold as my pop colour. So today I'm going to go with this one. It's not quite as shiny and shimmery as the one I added here. It's more like a sort of satin. But I'm going to see if it'll give me a bit of brightness. Yes, it will. What will it do? It doesn't have the same sort of huge impact that I got from this one here, because it's not the same formula. This one looks like a true shimmer and this one seems like a bit of a satin. But it's definitely given me the brightness I was looking for. But what I think I'll try with the gold is if I take the liner brush from Sony G, I'm going to use the gold now and actually take this across the lash line. So I'm making a sort of thick line with the gold, which I think I'm going to concentrate more from the inner part of the eye here. So it's just a pop and hint of the gold. I still don't really love this, to be honest. Maybe it did look better just with the green and the gold in the middle, but anyway. I don't know, I'm not a massive fan of these. I don't think the formulas seem as nice for me in this green one. The green looked really good to start with, but neither the gold or the satin really give me that pop I want there. I mean, I can see the shine I'm getting there from the gold, which is better than having too much of it. I will take it on the Pencil Pro and put it on the inner corner. Not something I like to do, to be honest. It's just, I think this could have been a different shade. Anyway. It's not a shade that works well for me for my inner corner. Oh, I just don't like this whole look, I really don't. In fact, I'm going to take the whole look off and start again. But anyway, I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to then go back and do the other look with the gold in the middle of the green. So I'll come back when I've basically got exactly the same eye, but I haven't added either the gold or the satin to the centre. So I'll see you when I've got back to that point. So I've got back to that point, but this time I've actually left the centre of the eye completely blank so that we can just get that gold, and hopefully that won't look so dark on me, because I do like these colours on me, but I really need to introduce a bit of light. So maybe, even though I'm not a massive fan of gold, if I just have the pop of gold in the middle of the eye, that could work a lot better, I think. So that's what I'll do. It's like an antique gold, this. I'm using my finger, but obviously you could use a flat brush or a wet brush if you really wanted to bring this out a bit more. So effectively this is a halo eye. And I think not having the green underneath it is giving me the light I needed to make this sort of look work on me. Still nowhere near as in love with it as I was the blue one or this one here. I just love the green. That's my takeout from this. Also, I love this sort of reddish brown on its own, so I think you could actually do a look just with this and this, say. I think it's a lovely tone, and you're not really seeing a lot of it apart from under the eye a little bit and just there, because I'm trying to show you all the colours. So there are quite a few possibilities with this, but yeah, I think that's a lot better actually. I still feel like it's dark here, but I will add this now, this satin, into my inner corner, not the gold like I did the first time, and this is a lot better for me as an inner corner. And what I'll do is I'll start bringing it up here, so it's sort of bringing a bit of light there where I think the green has sort of got into this part as I've applied it, no matter how much I've tried to avoid it, and it darkens this area, which on me can really ruin the look. And then I'll use it underneath the brow as well. It does have quite a bit of shine, this one. It's not a matte, it's definitely some sort of satin, I'd say. But yeah, I much prefer that whole look now. So going back into the purple one to finish, I'm going to take this dark shade here, and this is going to be my liner shade, which is actually quite a good shade for. It's not too dark, but it's enough. And I'll take it tight to the lash line as well, and just bring up a soft wing there. So this is my look with Force of Nature and Cosmic Dreams. I'll just go off and do some mascara, and we can have our final thoughts and final look. And those are my final looks now with mascara, and I absolutely love this one. I think this one works really well for my skin tone. I love the formulas. I love the way that the light just plays on top there when you add it. But I also love the fact that you can literally just go into either of these as a one and done. You've got a liner and an inner corner. It's just perfect in every way for me. It does every single thing I need it to, and it does it with absolute perfection. I think it's stunning, and I'm so delighted I got this one. It's probably even more wearable for me than the blue one, which I love very much too. but obviously this look is not quite as bold as a blue look, so a blue look has to really match what I'm wearing. But I absolutely love this. If I want a blue look, this is stunning. So I'm really glad I got the blue, and I'm really glad I got the purple. So Cosmic Dreams. This one, if I want to use all 4 shades, I'm not a big fan, which means for me this is not worth the money. But this is more to do with my skin tone. I don't think it's particularly to do with the formula. I think if you put the green all over and then have a pop of gold in the middle, like I've done with this sort of look, on a deeper skin tone and a warmer skin tone, that could look fabulous. On me, it's just a little bit too dark, so this is pure gold there, and I do think doing it this way looks better, but I still feel it's a little bit dark and grungy on me, these shades, and that's without me deepening up with this. So I don't think this is good for cool tones, and I mean, it doesn't suggest it really, does it? It doesn't look very cool tone apart from maybe the green, but it is quite warm with the gold and this sort of warmy brown. But deeper skin tones, I think this could look really beautiful. But I don't quite feel that even the green or the gold has quite the same fabulousness about the formula that I've seen in the blue and the purple. So there's just something about this that's not just the colours. On me, I just don't feel it quite as beautiful. I don't feel like the metallic is as good. And there isn't a shimmer in this that has the wow factor. Like the purple one certainly has the wow factor in that central shade, which I've used right in the middle there. This one really does bring the wow factor. And then with the blue one, we had the wow factor from that light blue, which is stunning. They really are wow factors. But this one, I suppose the wow factor on this one comes from the gold, and that's maybe why I'm not wowed, because I'm not a big fan of gold. But it doesn't have that same sort of quality. Look at the difference. So I think this is more of a standard average eyeshadow palette. It just doesn't have a standout shade. So I don't think it's worth the money. I think you could get colours like that from a much more affordable brand and probably be equally, if not more, happy with it. So for me, that one is a fail, but this one is absolutely not, and neither was the blues. I won't be picking up any more shades. They are very expensive. Those are the only colours I was quite tempted by. The slightly pinky ones I was quite tempted by. There is a pinky quad, maybe for the summer, but I doubt I'll go back because they're so expensive. But yeah. Overall, very, very pleased I got this one. So if you've been interested in these shades and you wanted to know how they looked, I hope this has been helpful to you. And what do you think about picking up refills, buying one case and doing what I've done? It's a way of buying it without spending a small fortune. You don't have to even get one case. You could do what I've done and just go for the refills and the cases I got from Amazon. So that shows how you can enjoy these formulas without spending a small fortune. But anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these. Which shade do you prefer? Have you tried them already? Have you gone in store and tried them? I've heard back from a lot of you that you've actually gone in store and had these put on, or you've been able to swatch them or had them swatched for you. Whatever you've got to tell me about it, I would love to hear it. And if you've enjoyed this, please do hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, I'd be delighted if you did subscribe. But if you already subscribed, you're at the end of another review, and I'm superbly grateful to every single one of you for being here. And I do hope to see all of you again for my next video. Take care everybody, bye!